Rock for People 2025, Evropa 2, exkluzívny report, exkluzívne rozhovory a exkluzívne kostýmy. Pozor, kto si?
Jinx.
Jinx.
A vy?
Ja som... dement. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Europe 2. We are on the Rock for People, and nearby me is a band Linkin Park, Dave and Colin. So guys, nice to meet you.
Thanks for having us. Good to meet you too. Yeah. All right.
I'm good, thank you. And I saw you in 2017 for the last time with the Chester on the Aerodrome Festival in the Czech Republic. Can you remember about this show?
I do remember that show, but more specifically now being back in Prague. Like the last time I was here with my family, my oldest was 1 at the time. So it was exactly 17 years ago. And my second daughter was like still in the womb, like my wife was pregnant. So we've been talking about being back in Prague and those memories. I think on that trip also I got like a stomach bug and there's all kinds of stuff going on at that time of life. But yeah, I've always loved coming here. Love being back.
One track on the album Politicians is about Czech politics and also your politics. What do you know about Czech politics?
I mean, I don't know much other than what what Smack tells me, but it's the same everywhere. That's one thing I learned. Like the same things he tells me happens here. I'm like, that's the same thing in the UK. Like they're all the same. Like all the governments seem to be the same with the same agendas, with the same useless ideas that go around in circles. Like everywhere I go, all countries I go to, it's the same problems.
Few music videos here from the inside and Nam. Why Prague?
Joe had scouted out, I think it was the Charles Bridge, and it fell in a good spot, like right before a tour started for us to come here and film. And with the way, the cruise and all that worked out, it just made a ton of sense. And for Numb, ironically, Joe was only able to film like half. So the outdoor segments of that video, he was able to film here. And then the rest of it, we had to film in LA because we had actually gotten sick. And then, I think it was Chester who got sick and we ended up coming out to Europe like 4 days later than we were planning on. And so we had to shoot our stuff at home and all the cool exterior shots here in Prague.
And the church was in LA, right?
Yeah. All those indoor, the band footage scenes in the church were all faked in LA.
Viděli jsme u tebe, jsi byla na koncertu Beyoncé, jak jsi to užila a byla jsi nějakou inspiraci třeba z ní? Já vám musím říct, ne, mě hned co napadlo, samozřejmě, jako když se bavíme o tom, jak těžký je jako zorganizovat festival, tak vůbec jakoby dostat se v Londýně na Beyoncé, kde je přesně nějakých 80 000 lidí, pro mě byla třeba největší úzkost mého života, ale zvládla jsem to a stálo to za to a byla fantastická, jakoby to byla prostě nejlepší show, kterou jsem kdy viděla a to jsem mi už jednou viděla a myslím si, že by to měl vidět každý, kdo to neposlouchá.
Presne skladba trochu česky, trochu polsky Ewa Farna, tak prišlo mi to veľmi zaujímavé, že takí reperi, ktorí sa nepodpíšu pod čokoľvek, sa podpísali pod skladbu s tvojím menom. Jak si to vnímala? Mňa práve napadlo, keď som to videl, že pre tvoje typické publikum to môže byť asi šok, tí reperi, keď uvidíš ich tvorbu. Jak si k tomu pristupovala?
Je to šok pro spoustu lidí, pro mě taky. Zároveň to přijde vlastně jako hustý, cítím se v tím prostě hustě, protože je to nějaký, pocítila jsem nějaký, aspoň mikrolevel jako, jak to říct?
To velký kredit.
Street kreditu, přesně, jo, tak přesně, street kreditu a to, že je hrozně hezké, že se necítím tak úplně, že by mnou třeba jako nutně opovrhovali všichni z rapu, to je jako příjemný pocit. A zároveň zároveň jsem tam jako podle mě, ačkoliv ta písnička je dost jako tematicky jinde, než je můj život nebo takhle, tak, nebo mý fanoušci by čekali. Já jsem se do toho kontextu úplně nepasovala, oni prostě použili mý jméno a tak se to jako spojilo, ale to, že jsem tam jako za symbol propojení Polska a Česka, mě přijde vlastně docela na místě, docela v pohodě a přijde mi to jako fajn, že to spíš vnímám tak, že jsem tam za propojení toho Polska a Česka a to mi přijde legit, jakože že mi to přijde vlastně fajn, že jsem takovým symbolem pro mostění těch dvou kultur a proto jsem tomu dala jakože OK, thank you.
Your actually last single with the music video is Up From The Bottom. And can you describe me your bottom personally or as a band?
In the video, or
No, in your personal life or maybe as a band, can you describe me your bottom?
Well, I think just that's kind of different for every person, and I think that if you describe it, for me, if I describe it my personal, it you know, life is long, and I think the whole point of the video is that people go through ups and downs all along the way. I think that's kind of more the important thing than like one specific thing for me.
yeah, the video itself, my idea or whatever that Joe had for me was like a magician whose trick goes wrong, and we couldn't quite get that. That was my idea, and then Joe couldn't quite figure out how to get that across, so it ended up just being me, like in a straitjacket, climbing into an uncomfortable chest. But Joe always does a great job with the videos. Like it's something that I think we take for granted at times, but then when we get a chance to kind of look back on it, having somebody who's in the band handling and who is also talented, but is handling that visual representation of how the band is going to come across is so important. And it's so easy for us. Obviously, Joe understands where we're coming from. He understands what we're doing musically. He understands how we want it to be portrayed. So at this stage, we can just kind of say, like, Joe, we trust you. We trust not only that you get it, that you're going to deliver something that represents the band well, and it's huge. Like when I talk to other bands about that process for them, like the stress that sometimes goes into it of what do you do if you have a director, you pick somebody, at the end of that process, you're kind of looking at it going like, shit, this is not what this song, what we want it to cross as, was not how we want it to look or be portrayed or even feel, and you kind of get stuck in some weird places a lot of times, but thankfully we have like an in-house director.
He's also just a lot of fun to work with, and I've shot even before Linkin Park a lot of videos with bands I've been in, and it's never as creative, and Joe is keeps the, you know, energy up, but also is very calm and sort of fluid, and it's kind of like he's daydreaming through it, which is, it's really fun to watch, you know.
But you also performed your track Molotov on the main music event in our country.
Yeah, I'm gonna perform it because it's a banger. I'm gonna always perform it, and I stand by what I said over there. I've been saying it when I've done the tune 10 years ago, like the Kdo neskáče není Čech. When I've done that, I was losing listeners, and back then it was Facebook, so I could see the numbers decreasing every day. So I was speaking the same shit I was saying 10 years later on Molotov, or 6-7 years later on Molotov. Now it's 10 years, and everyone just loved it, and the numbers were just increasing. I'm not saying I'm some kind of prophet. I just stand by what I say, and that's what I've been saying. I'm not gonna repeat it anymore. It is what it is. I think it is like that. Maybe someone can have completely different idea, and that's fine.
Has anything changed for you in 3 years?
In the last 3 years, I released an album, I've been touring the world, I'm working on new music, but it feels really, really good to be back on tour now. It's just the first festival, or the first shows I'm doing now this month in a year, I think. So yeah, it's really, really exciting to be back. I feel very back in my natural habitat on stage.
Prvá popová zpěvačka, která má street credit.
Taky hodně hustý, jakože mám z toho, vlastně z toho radost. Je protože mám ráda, když se to jako nerozděluje všechno. A hodně lidí opovrhuje různýma žánrama jako vzájemně. Jo, jakože některý hodně undergroundově povrhují popem a mainstreamem a zase jako to. A já vlastně od začátku se snažím dost jako propojovat to, že jsme všichni děláme hudbu a děláme to každý po svým, ale vlastně hudba je to, aby pojila podle mě. A i proto jsem tady dneska říkala na pódiu na Rock for People, že já jsem začínala tak, že na mě fakt ve 12-13 házeli prostě kelímky plnýho piva na rockových festivalech a bylo jako táhni do Polska takhle. A mě bylo 12, jsem tam stála a rozbrčila jsem se, až jsem sešla z podia do zákulisí. Takže jsem jako hodně zocelená podle mě v tomhle. A jako v těch 20 let později, nebo 15, vlastně jsi na tom Rock for People, na té hlavní scéně a víš si rockery, jak jedou vlastně tenhle mošpity třeba. A to byl pro mě takový hrozně hezký moment jako nějakého přemostění. To není o tom, že rockeři budou vždycky poslouchat mě, nebo všichni rapeři budou jako říkat OK, Ewa, v pohodě, určitě ne, ale vlastně se mně líbí to propojování a takový to jako mrknutí na sebe, že o sobě víme a každý si jedem to svoje, tak mi to přijde jako hrozně to, co ta hudba má dělat vlastně.
Yeah. The reason of my question is because, as I said, in 2017, I was in the backstage. I saw you as a whole band and also the Chester, and that was on my mind that thing will happen. Chester was smiling at the time, so that is my question about your bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Colin and I are in different spaces with that, but in the history of the band, the most tragic thing for sure was losing Chester. You know, that there's nothing that would even come close, you know, in the process of what we've been through. So to the effect that, like, you know, me, Brad, Mike, and Joe, from that point forward, it took us years before we were even kind of comfortable getting back in a room and sitting down together and saying, like, do we want to try to start writing again? Like, it literally, or do we even want to do the band anymore? Do we want to make music together? Is it called Linkin Park? It just kind of, like, my brain, like, shut off to all that and just said, I'm just going to go be with my family. We're going to do that. Like, kind of like, I'll check in with you guys when I see you, but for right now, like, a bomb has just gone off and, you know, I need to kind of recover and figure that out. And so I think it's like the cliche of time heals all wounds. It doesn't heal the wound, but it does give you an opportunity to try to look at things through a different lens and see what you can do or where you can kind of move forward or at least move. You know, I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's what I've learned in a couple different instances of dealing with tragedy, is that it doesn't leave you. Like, it stays with you, but you do figure out a way to, what is tomorrow? You know, you do figure out a way to step into that. What are you going to do? How are you going to move? What's that going to look like? And kind of try and take it like one step at a time.
You took a year off. What was the reason?
I had to stop the music and write some. I don't want to say poetry, but write some lyrics. Try get deeper into it, regardless of the beat.
You're a different guy after that 1 year off.
I think I evolved in many aspects because I needed some inspiration, some new kick. So yeah, I think you should evolve. You should be different than last year, because otherwise you're fucked. If you don't evolve, man, it's not good. So yeah, I'm a different person, and I know I'm really like, I up the levels lyrically. I'm not just trying to promote something because I don't have a tune to promote. I don't have no material that's gonna be released anytime soon. But I just know, and when it is going down, it's mad.
Teraz asi už jsou otravné ty otázky na Dua Lipu, ne?
Úplně v pohodě.
V pohodě.
Já budu se klidně tvářit dalších 5 let, že se to stalo, protože prostě je to top. A já vím, že lidi to může štvát, ale je to jak mít hit, který už všem leze krkem. Jsi rád, že máš hit, víš co? Takže jsem ráda, že mám viral, děkuju.
Ty memečka byly dost jako na městě.
Jo. Jsme se hodně pobavili, jsme vytvářeli memečka, no. Pro mě to byla důležitá věc a myslím si, že vůbec ne v kontextu toho, jak mě lidi vnímají, ale co to znamenalo pro ty lidi osobně. Já mám pocit, že to jako zarezonovalo.
To jak kdyby jsme vyhrali hokej vlastně, tak mi to přišlo.
Že to bylo jako přesně jako, že pocítíš takovou radost z toho, že prostě dějou velké věci v naší malé zemi. Víš, a je to jako jedno, jestli to stalo mně nebo někomu úplně jinému, to se mohlo stát komukoliv.